Nevada, the site of the incredible facility by Mr. Andrew Lessman. Andrew, sir, here we go again.
I can't believe it. A Monday night show. When was the last time we did this?
This was what, 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
I think January, almost 4 months ago.
Boy, time flies.
Time flies, yes.
But
Tell me about it, yes.
It always is so intriguing being here. For the past 5 minutes, I've just been looking at everybody because we're seeing this live in action.
Oh, and I guess I get this question. It's sort of funny that whether those are prop bottles and those are actors behind me, and they're not actors. This is actually our facility. We didn't rent the facility, and we actually built the studio. The glass is at a very particular angle so it doesn't reflect, also diminishes the sound from behind us because actually production is a fairly noisy process. So we are actually in our facility that we built here in Henderson, Nevada, actually 20 years ago. Wow. And all the roof of the building that we're in, very large building, several 100,000 square feet, entirely covered with solar panels. We have images of that. And then the parking lot out there where we all park, that is covered, about 5 or 6 acres, entirely covered with solar panels. Also very energy efficient and nice to get in your car after it isn't too hot after the summers we have here in Nevada. So this is actually where we do everything. So it's, I think, a unique privilege, especially in this day and age where products, we don't even get to go to stores anymore often. We buy things, we bought things off television, now we buy things off the internet. So what do they say? It's sort of the end of bricks and mortar shopping. So many of us don't really have a company that we can connect to when we're getting a product. I know I often feel that way. So I love doing these shows because for me, it's a chance for me to show you exactly where all your products are made. Yes. When you see the machines, you're seeing the exact machines that make the product and the people that make the products that you enjoy at home. So it's a privilege for me.
And I tell you, Andrew and I love doing these because this really is a conversation about health. It's a conversation about you. We'll showcase wonderful products that are there to help aid our life and our lifestyle. But folks, tonight our goal is to answer as many questions as possible, to go through as many of the different really parts of the Andrew Lessman family that are available always online at hsn.com, but also maybe help inspire you to try something new if there's a particular thing that's happening in your life. Maybe it's stress, maybe you're not sleeping well, maybe you've got achy joints. We have something for absolutely everybody. And of course, later on, we will go on a truly in-depth tour of the facility so you can see how it all works. I'm going to throw Andrew a lot of curveball questions, as I always love to do as well.
Oh, that's cool.
But Andrew,
maybe I can leave now.
I know, I've written them all down, no peeking.
Lincoln's not here. Lincoln is my stand-in, and he's not here. So,
Andrew's like
my dog, Lincoln.
We love Lincoln when he's here. But there are a lot of questions, Andrew, especially these days when it comes to what we can do to help the stresses in our life.
And it's funny, because recently that is a question that anyone who sees me that might take my products or knows what I do, it's a constant question. It's one of those you hear all the time. You hear stress, you hear about thyroid, you hear about blood pressure, you hear about blood sugar. You know, we'll try to cover as many of these. Of course, vitamin supplements aren't drugs or medicines, and in terms of stress, the most important thing to do about stress is how we perceive the situations that are stressful. We can't make the world go away. We could change how we see the world and react differently. And I know we've all experienced times where we might have surprised ourselves, where things that really should have stressed us didn't because of the way we perceived them, the way we handled them. Certainly things like meditation or whatever we might call it in our world, calming ourselves with breathing, that can help us handle stress, and it's been proven that physiologically there's less consequences to that stress. The reason why I started with Valerian here is Valerian is many people resort to medications for the stress and pressure and anxiety of daily life. And certainly this is not a drug or medicine, but it's something that has a history of being used to help us contend with those feelings of edginess that are sort of unavoidable in modern life. I mean, mine is a very, very busy modern life. It's probably why I have, just for survival, why I exercise, why I meditate. Because so much of my life is so crazy and busy that a human body, a human organism needs some time to relax. And it's not just sleep, because if we expect sleep to be the solution to all of the craziness of our days, And we're going to find our sleep isn't that relaxing. So we really have to find an active way during the day to actively help us handle what we contend with on a daily basis. And there's some wonderful thinkers and books and writers that give us all sorts of tools for how we could perceive our life in a less stressful way, in a less helpless way. And I think it's important to think that, or to know, that how we feel is determined by us, that others aren't responsible for how we feel. It sounds easier said than done, but it actually is true. That you could see many people with just the most incredible hardships in life,
right,
and they have the best attitude imaginable, better than I have on my best day. So it's possible, and we just have to try to find it within ourselves to take those little baby steps. And certainly, in terms of what we give our body, you need to follow your doctor's guidance and directions. With Valerian, all I do is offer a product that has been tested with time. It certainly isn't a drug or a medicine, but it's something that has soothing, relaxing effects. It's something that I have found is beneficial, and the reviews on the product validate that it actually does help.
So Andrew, how does that differ then to our next one, which is the PS200?
That's a very interesting question. And because we have to look at stress from two standpoints. Yesterday, we were talking about lutein and zeaxanthin in our Ultimate Eye. And actually, lutein and zeaxanthin, because of their protective role in the brain as well as our eyes, has been shown to help in terms of the consequences or the fallout from stress in our brain. What phosphatidylserine is, what we start with Valerian, when I talked about that initially, Valerian helps us in terms of relaxing our nervous system. And that's one of the first steps to dealing with stress and dealing with our lives better. That's what we try to do with breathing, where we slow our breathing. We breathe in more slowly, we hold it for an instant, we breathe out more slowly. Just controlled breath has been physiologically proven to relax us and to reduce the consequences of stress. So Valerian is something that's designed and intended to help relax us, to be soothing. What phosphatidylserine does, it goes more to the chemistries of our cells. It's not going to have us, and it's often misrepresented what phosphatidylserine does. It's not going to make you feel per se less stressed or less stressful. What phosphatidylserine does is go to the